Tonight on NewsVision, it has been 3 weeks since University of Miami senior Daniel Bishop died in a traffic accident. We will show you how the UM campus continues to celebrate his life.
It's important to celebrate Daniel's life because he was truly a light for all of us on campus.
Plus, one inclusive dance troupe in Miami showed the skills of its unique dancers. We will take you to the show.
I pointed to the stage and I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be out there.
And later on, women's basketball coach Katie Meyer announces her retirement after a memorable career.
And my beloved Miami. It's been my privilege to serve.
These stories and a lot more on tonight's episode of NewsVision. It starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of NewsVision. I'm Ben Freeman.
And I'm Gracie Palmer. Thank you for joining us. 2 people have been confirmed dead and 6 are missing after the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland collapsed when a cargo ship collided with the structure earlier this week.
And today we are thinking about the families of Dolian Castillo Cabrera and Maynor Suazo Sandoval, who were recovered and identified yesterday. We pray for the family and the families of all of the victims of the Key Bridge collapse.
The crash was reportedly caused by an electrical malfunction aboard the boat. Authorities said that police had only 90 seconds to stop the traffic on the bridge before the crash. The accident will have a big economic impact as the Port of Baltimore is now closed, and the port is a critical hub for cargo in and out of the U.S., and more than 100,000 jobs are linked to it.
Earlier this week, the University of Miami hosted a memorial in honor of senior Daniel Bishop, who died in a traffic accident before spring break. Family, friends, and faculty members attended the memorial, and many students reflected on the impact Daniel has had on their lives and the school as a whole.
It's important to celebrate Daniel's life because he was truly a light for all of us on campus and an example of how we should all behave and what it truly means to be a Cane. And I really want to keep his legacy to go on within future generations of students here.
Daniel majored in math and was supposed to graduate in May. At the end of the memorial, his parents received his university diploma. They also got a book of photos that students have taken showcasing many people that Daniel had impacted at the UM community. The latest print edition of the Miami Hurricane, the student newspaper on campus, is dedicated to the memory of Daniel Bishop.
Tonight, a catwalk is dominating the Shalala Ballroom for an exciting annual event. Lead reporter Billy Brightman is live outside the Shalala Ballroom. Billy, what's going on?
Gracie, the Shalala Ballroom has never been more colorful. Tonight, the University of Miami's annual drag show Drag Out is taking place. It's the 11th annual show hosted by Spectrum, the university's oldest LGBTQ organization on campus. There will be professional drag kings and queens performing and student drag kings and queens competing. If you like what you see or you just want to donate to Spectrum, they'll be accepting cash and digital tips that'll go towards the organization, as well as an off-campus organization called Reflect Co.
And Billy, is there something about this drag out that's different from the others?
There is. This year's drag out is different because of a special guest. Malaysia Baby Doll Fox, a drag queen from the iconic drag competition show RuPaul's Drag Race, is here tonight performing. Before the show, performers and volunteers got a chance to do a meet and greet with the queen where they got some cool signed posters as well and got super pumped for the show tonight. It's starting very soon at 7:15 and will go until 10:30, so you have plenty of time to make it here to the Shalala Center and see these exciting performances. And speaking of exciting performances, on Saturday, the Miami-Dade County Auditorium hosted a dance showcase unlike any other. I had the chance to take a look. Marjorie Burnett loves to dance. She has cerebral palsy, but it has never stopped her from having dreams of being on stage.
And I pointed to the stage and I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be out there. And then I put my foot in front And they all looked at me like I was crazy. I said, well, you'll see, I'll do it one day, and here I am.
On March 23rd, Marjorie and other dancers with disabilities performed in the 5th annual Forward Motion Dance Festival in Miami. It was hosted by a company called Karen Peterson Dancers that was created almost 35 years ago as a space for inclusive dance.
Wow, this really makes sense to me, and it has impact in the dance world, and it satisfied something in me that contemporary dance wasn't doing for me at that time.
Marjorie and her fellow dancers have practiced their pieces with Karen for the festival for years, and even though they've been performing for a while, each performance is still just as special.
She's my mentor. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am today. She made my dreams become a reality.
While Karen knows not all audiences are open-minded, the audience at Forward Motion was truly in awe at what she and her dancers could accomplish.
So diverse and so creative and romantic and sexy and all the stuff that you don't expect to see.
It's the support of such audiences that keeps Karen's mission alive.
Really have practiced inclusion and honestly, and I have been very diligent to make sure that individuals with disabilities are not just a check in the box, but they are actually disabilities that, make my organization run.
The Forward Motion Festival is over, but Karen Peterson Dancers continues to act as a beacon for dancers of all abilities to make their dreams come true. Billy Brightman, UMTV.
World-renowned artist Michael Jonas has visited the Low Art Museum on campus to discuss his use of glass as a canvas. Jonas worked as an architect in Australia most of his life before transitioning full-time to a glass artist in the U.S. His work is featured in the Library of Congress, Vanderbilt University, and a number of museums across the globe. During his campus visit last night, Jonas discussed the differences between working with glass and other mediums.
Glass is a magical material. I mean, it's got so many things going for it that you don't get in a canvas. The translucency, the hand of it, there's a glossiness to it. Sometimes it can be a matte finish.
The Low Art Museum named Michael Jonas the Distinguished Artist of 2024. While on campus, Jonas has also been teaching workshops in the Fine Arts Department.
Yeah, Ben, I was just at the Lowell Art Museum and I'd never been, and it was really interesting.
Art museums by themselves are always fascinating, so I guess I have to check out his exhibit.
You definitely should. But hurricane season doesn't start for a couple of months, but predictions for it are already out.
Weather forecaster Quinn Davidson joins us now to tell us what we can expect for the upcoming hurricane season. Quinn, how bad is it going to be?
So it is just a few months away, so I can't exactly give you an answer on that, but I will say signs are indicating a very active 2024 hurricane season. The official hurricane season start is June 1st, and we have a La Nina year, which is opposite of what we experienced last year, which was an El Nino, which normally hinders hurricane activity. Unfortunately, this year we'll be having an environment more conducive to hurricane activity. So normally we have east to west winds that push a warm pool of water towards countries like the Philippines, but unfortunately in a La Nina, those winds are much stronger, creating a cold pool, and this impacts a lot of the weather here across the United States. So for our winter, we are already looking at a very dry and warm pattern, pretty opposite of what we've seen in the past few months here across South Florida. But this also indicates higher hurricane activity in the summer. The main development region highlighted in this red box is an area where most hurricanes are developed. Unfortunately, the ocean temperatures right now are what they normally would be in June and July. So we have very hot ocean temperatures and a very conducive environment for hurricane development. So it's looking like we're going to be having quite an active hurricane season. Some experts at AccuWeather have already issued a warning that these names here for our 2024 season might actually get ran through, and we might head into the Greek alphabet, which may compete with seasons such as the 2005 season and 2020 season, which was very active. So for 2024, we have to keep our eyes open for what is to come. And more on your local weather forecast after the break. Gracie?
Thanks, Quinn. Time for a short break now, but when NewsVision returns, we will show you how one group of students is celebrating their culture here on campus. We'll be right back.
Thousands of kids start vaping, and I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Some 100,000 Haitian Americans live in Miami-Dade County, and one local neighborhood is even called Little Haiti. Here on campus, many students have been celebrating Haitian culture and heritage this week, with events hosted by the Haitian student organization called Planet Creole. The opening ceremony was held at the lakeside patio and included traditional Haitian foods, including Haitian chicken. A live band played compas music, which is a popular genre of music in Haiti from the 1950s. Some other events included a pageant for Mr. and Mrs. Planet Creole last night, along with the compas dance workshop. And today, they hosted a market selling traditional clothing and hair products on the lakeside patio.
There are only a few weeks left in the spring semester, and as summer internships and jobs inch closer, many students are looking for professional clothing. As Maddie Basalik shows, one on-campus organization helps spruce up your wardrobe.
For the second year in a row, First Gen Canes, a student organization that focuses on bringing first-generation college students together, hosted a professional closet event. The event was held in the Lakeside Pavilion and allowed all students to choose 2 clothing items and an accessory free of charge.
It's a great opportunity, of course, to provide free clothing to all students. And it really allows us to bring together the first generation community and incorporate them, within the campus.
The event was put together with the help of Bake Back America, the Topple Career Center, and Empower Me First, who all helped gather the clothing for the event.
It's Bake Back America. We got connected through conversations on the phone and expressed the need for our student population, and really they showed up and rose to the occasion.
The main goal of the event is to help people grow their wardrobes and self-confidence while also networking with fellow students.
I think it's really great. There's a lot of people to help us. There's a lot of students we can also interact with, and there's a lot of variety that we can get and see that suit our own needs professionally.
With plenty of clothing for both men and women, attendees had many opportunities to personalize their style and dig for great finds. This event was originally hosted by Empower Me First, but First Gen Canes took over this year, and the idea came from the students themselves.
Students shared this is something that they weren't necessarily confident in or were equipped with, and so we try to identify student needs and deliver.
The event lasted 4 hours, and after 3 p.m., the event turned into a free-for-all where students could grab as many items as they wanted to make sure no clothes were left behind. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Maddie Basalik.
Last Saturday, Vice President Kamala Harris came to Florida to bring attention to the issue of gun violence. She visited Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, where a shooter killed 17 people on Valentine's Day in 2018. While investigators and politicians and even jury members have walked through the school over the years, the White House says the vice president's visit was meant to once again bring attention to the epidemic of gun violence in the country.
During the walkthrough of the building where these crimes occurred is a moment frozen in time. High school classrooms. The desks are still in the configuration they were in on that Valentine's Day 6 years ago. I was in classrooms where, frozen in time, the laptops of that era are still on the desks, which have since gathered dust. Frozen in time, on some of the desks, the snacks that the students were eating.
The vice president called on every state to pass red flag laws. Those laws would allow people to ask a court to temporarily remove gun owners' access to their weapons if they pose a threat to themselves or their community. Last year, President Biden created the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and put Kamala Harris in charge.
The Sunshine State has come to terms with the Mouse House. On Wednesday, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District and Disney agreed on a settlement that ends a years-long battle. The disagreement started over Disney opposing a state law that placed restrictions on some classroom instructions regarding gender identity and sexual orientation. The Oversight District, which governs the special tax district where Disney is located, issued a statement saying it is eager to work with Disney.
And I think that there's going to be ways where we can do things that are in the best interests of the state of Florida, and I think Disney can be a part of that.
Disney officials say they are pleased to have this matter resolved. And meanwhile, Disney's rival Universal has released a sneak peek at one of the new worlds featured at the Universal Epic Universe theme park in Orlando. The new How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berkland is based on DreamWorks Animation's How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. It'll feature themed eateries and shopping, along with 4 new attractions, a live show, and character and dragon meet and greet experiences. It's one of 5 new worlds at the park. How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berkland is set to open in 2025.
I mean, personally, How to Train Your Dragon is one of my favorite movies, so I will definitely be checking that out.
And I absolutely love Universal Studios and all the rides they have, so I'm excited to check it out, and I'm going to be going opening day.
But now it's time to check in with Quinn Davidson on what the weather forecast looks like.
Quinn, what should we expect for this weekend?
Then, if picture perfect for a weekend, it's this one. We have a weak cold front that moved through this afternoon, bringing some showers off the coast and in more northern and central areas of Florida. But this is going to keep us dry and comfortable over the next few days, and I personally am just so excited. We have 12 miles per hour for our winds right now, a little stronger in the Keys where they are in the 20s and 17 in Naples, but wind gusts is what's going to keep us on the breezy side of things. We have gusts pushing to 20 miles per hour right now as of 7 p.m. on Thursday, 36 in Marathon, very, very high winds, and this is going to continue into the day tomorrow, creating some gusty conditions for us as you are walking. But we have a high pressure system that is creating a very nice weather pattern over the South Florida region the next few days. So we have temperatures slowly climbing. We have upper 70s this weekend, and then by next week we'll have temperatures in the 80s pushing into the upper 80s, making it nice and hot by Wednesday, 87.
Thanks, Quinn. I mean, it looks like the weather is going to be beautiful tonight.
It's perfect for those going to the baseball game where the Canes will face off with the Clemson Tigers.
But the baseball players are not the only ones you'll see on the field. Sports anchor Zach Macer is here in studio to tell us more.
Thanks very much, guys. Now, at a baseball game, there are many moving parts. But without the balls there would be no game at all, essentially. And here at the University of Miami, a special group of people are responsible for keeping them in order. I had a chance to get to know them.
Mark-Light Field, where University of Miami baseball plays, is home to many traditions. From players and fans clapping together to the fan-favorite milkshakes, the atmosphere is one of a kind. But there's one special group that is both a tradition and necessary to every single baseball game. The Sugar Canes. By just submitting an application and having love for the sport, these University of Miami female students become part of one of the oldest traditions at Mark-Light Field.
So the Sugar Canes are the first collegiate ball and bat girls ever created, and we were created by Coach Ron Frazier back in 1968.
What started as Frazier's idea to help the marketing and promotion of the baseball program has turned into one of the greatest opportunities for the 19 Sugar Canes to have what they call the best seats in the house.
I'm in the dugout with the team. I get to hear the coaches speak, I get to hear the players speak, I get to see what's happening, and it actually makes it come alive.
A game day for a Sugar Cane is super fun, but the opportunity to chase baseballs at Mark-Light Field was almost taken away from them due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The girls were not considered travel party members for the baseball team and were not able to participate during the COVID-restricted 2021 season. The season after, they came back to Mark-Light with some of their responsibilities taken away.
And before COVID, the Sugar Canes used to be a lot more involved. We used to be part of the milkshake group, and we used to even travel with the team at a point.
The following season, the group had barely any girls and wanted to return to its former glory.
Now, obviously, we're in the rebuilding steps, and we struggle to get a full team of girls and get the games fully staffed.
And built it has. The girls have now grown in numbers since and have been bonded by the love of baseball.
It really is an honor just because I know how valuable the Sugar Canes are to the fans, and I know how valuable we are to the team.
It's the best organization here at the University of Miami, and I truly don't think anything has given me as much joy as this program has.
And guys, applications to join the Sugar Canes will be open up in the fall for anyone who wants to be a part of the team. I'll have more with sports after the break, including more on the retirement of beloved basketball head coach Katie Meyer. Don't go away.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome to sports. I'm Zach Macer. We start off with some breaking news. Miami Hurricanes men's basketball got a new player via the transfer portal. It's former Virginia Tech center Lynn Kidd. Miami needed a big man, and now they got one with Kidd. He is 6'10" and 235 pounds. The Gainesville, Florida native has a great array of post moves and a knack for grabbing rebounds. He averaged 13.2 points per game and 6.2 rebounds per game last season. Kidd was ranked the 13th best player in the transfer portal by 24/7 Sports, and he is now on his third ACC team of his career, having been at Clemson before he transferred to Virginia Tech. On to Canes baseball. They are almost midway through their season and currently have a record of 14 wins and 10 losses. And this last weekend, they had their first series loss of the season against Notre Dame. The final game of that series, though, was a thriller. And I need to show you what happened in South Bend, Indiana. Here it is. We're in the fourth inning because Notre Dame is up 3-1, and David Glancy just kills that one to extend their lead all the way into left field. Later on, fifth inning, the Hurricanes put up 8 runs, starting off with this Cuvée single. Then an error gave Miami another one. It's Villegas that comes in there. 8 runs, just unprecedented, and then it's topped off with Jacoby Long. Take a look at this reaction. He's pumped up. The Canes are pumped up. They were leading until another David Glancy home run. He had 2 on the day, 2 to left field, and Glancy climbs it up at 10. Here we are going into extra innings now. Daniel Cuvée at the plate. Let's see what he does. Single into right, and it gives Miami the tie-breaking score. They would go on to end that game and win 12-10. For the past 36 years, the women's basketball program here at UM has had just 2 head coaches. And in 2024, they'll have a new face walking the sidelines. Andrew Klein has the story.
When you look across the landscape of college athletics, stability is nowhere to be found. But if you've been to Miami in the last 19 years, there is one constant.
It's been an honor of a lifetime, from UNC Asheville to Tulane to Charlotte, and to my beloved Miami. It's been my privilege to serve.
Katie Meyer spent 19 seasons as the head coach of Miami Hurricanes women's basketball, winning a program record 362 games. But her greatest impact has been made off the court.
Look at all those banners. Look at the 100% graduation rate of all the players that have stayed 4 years here. Can we hang a banner, too, for that, please?
Katie Meyer made people passionate about Miami women's basketball. She made kids want to come and play for her. She made coaches want to come and learn from her. She made fans want to come and cheer for her.
Meyer still has 4 years left on her contract and plans to honor them by staying with the athletic department as a special advisor to the director of athletics, Dan Radakovich.
She will be a tremendous asset for our department moving forward, helping us with mentorship, leadership training, alumni engagement, friend-raising and fundraising for women's sports, and serving as a great ambassador for our university.
I'm very grateful to be able to stay on here at the U and continue to help and lead and grow and mentor in a different way.
Katie Meyer is not just a part of Miami Hurricanes women's basketball. She is Miami Hurricanes women's basketball. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Andrew Klein.
On Friday, athletic director Dan Radakovich said that current associate head coach Fitzroy Anthony would take over the interim coaching position while the program embarks on a nationwide search for Coach Meyer's replacement. That's it for sports tonight. I'm Zach Macer.
Thanks, Zach. Still ahead, celebrating one frequent on-campus visitor. We'll tell you more when we return. Stay with us.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Just a little while ago, the UMiami Democrats organization hosted Miami-Dade Mayor Danielle Levine Cava and other Democratic candidates running in the November elections here on campus. Emmeline Smith is at the Shaleo Center to tell us more. Emmeline, how was the mayor's visit?
Spoke here today alongside District Commissioner candidate Cindy Lerner and District 27 Federal Representative candidate Lucia Baez-Geller. The event was hosted by the UM Democrats, and their main goal today was to educate students on how to flip Florida blue. Each candidate got the chance to discuss their campaign and network with fellow Democrats here at the university. And while these elections aren't taking place until November, all three candidates are hard at work at their campaigns. Candidate Cindy Lerner is a former mayor of Pinecrest and a former member of the Florida House of Representatives. A majority of her work has gone towards climate protection and preventing overdevelopment in the area of Miami. And this is something she hopes to continue to do if she is elected. I spoke with members of the UM Democrats, and they told me that they are confident in the remarks that she made tonight. For UMTV, I'm Emmeline Smith.
Thanks, Emmeline. According to the Department of Agriculture, around 12% of American households face some kind of food insecurity. I got a chance to see one community initiative in Pompano Beach that's hoping to change that. Just 5 years ago, this was an empty plot of land in the Florida city of Pompano Beach. But now it's a beautiful community garden, built and maintained by a group of volunteers and funded by Pompano Beach's Community Redevelopment Agency. They help grow more than 1,000 pounds of veggies such as eggplants, tomatoes, lettuce, and herbs year-round, and they give it all away. 40% of what is grown goes to charities and soup kitchens in the Pompano area, and the rest is sold for cheap.
Places like this really bring more food security to local communities, and also it's more affordable for local residents to come and purchase produce. Growing your own food and knowing your own farmer is very important, and having places like this allows the local community to come out and enjoy a community garden.
But the garden doesn't only supply vegetables, as it gives lifelong memories and even a few green thumbs. Despite veggies, the venture also tries to grow interest in gardening and agriculture through programs and events aimed at the town's residents. The garden manager was in one of those programs as a teenager and says it changed his life.
I started off in the first Grow City Youth program back in 2015, and I fell in love with it. Being in that program really helped me find out what I wanted to do with my passion and career. So I ended up going to college. I got my AS degree in landscape and horticulture, and I manage this site, and I also have my own business doing edible landscapes in front yards and backyards.
The garden also hosts events like the potato harvest, pizza fundraisers, cooking demos, and others in hopes of bringing the Pompano community closer together because, much like a garden, when the community comes together, everything seems to turn up for the better. The community garden also has 10 small plots available for lease by local families for their personal use. And you can buy some of the fresh fruits and veggies at the Green Market in Pompano Beach.
Here at UM, manatees are campus regulars. We see them in the waterways all the time, and that makes it fitting that yesterday was Manatee Appreciation Day. Their special day falls on the last Wednesday of March. Manatees are nicknamed sea cows because they spend about 8 hours a day grazing on seagrass. They have no natural enemy, but they are a threatened species because of pollution, climate change, and hunting. Many also end up injured due to collisions and boats and ships in shallow water. While manatees are friendly in Florida, it is illegal to harass, disturb, or play with them. And fun fact, early explorers and sailors thought manatees were mermaids. I mean, Ben, I always see the manatees on campus, and they are so cute.
Yeah, they're absolutely adorable.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on NewsVision.
We'll be back at the same time next week. Have a good night, Hurricanes.